Mr. Roach, Lamont Roach?
I mean, I think the online reaction is a little bit unfair. Like,
the announcement of the fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach has sparked intense debate within the boxing community, with opinions ranging from outright criticism to cautious optimism. While some fans and experts dismiss the fight as a mismatch, others view it as an opportunity for both fighters to make a statement. Tank Davis, known for his knockout power and star power, remains one of boxing's most polarizing figures, while Lamont Roach, a technically skilled boxer, steps up from super featherweight to challenge one of the most dominant fighters in the lightweight division. The fight was originally scheduled for December 14, 2024, but has since been postponed to an undecided date in January 2025. Despite the delay, the matchup continues to draw attention, not all of it positive. Critics, including former fighters like Timothy Bradley and current champions like Teofimo Lopez, have expressed their disapproval, arguing that Roach is not a worthy challenger for Davis at this stage in his career. Bradley has been particularly vocal, calling the matchup a clear mismatch and questioning why it is being promoted as a pay-per-view event. He points out that Roach, while talented, lacks the knockout power and high-profile victories needed to pose a serious threat to Tank. With a professional record of 25 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, Roach is seen more as a pure boxer than a power puncher, with only 10 of his victories coming by knockout. Bradley criticizes the decision to elevate this fight to pay-per-view status, suggesting it could hurt Davis's reputation and leave fans disappointed. Bradley believes Davis's promoters are doing him a disservice by consistently matching him against opponents perceived as lesser threats. He claims that this pattern of matchmaking undermines Tank's credibility and stunts his potential to become a true boxing legend. According to Bradley, Davis's career trajectory has been shaped to avoid risks, dating back to his time under Mayweather Promotions. He argues that Tank's legacy could benefit from taking on fighters like Shocker Stevenson, Devin Haney, or Teofimo Lopez, boxers with the skill, power, and pedigree to truly challenge him. For his part, Tank Davis remains unfazed by the criticism. He acknowledges the skepticism surrounding Roach as an opponent, but insists that Roach is a skilled fighter who should not be underestimated. Davis believes Roach's decision to step up in weight is evidence of his ambition and hunger, traits Tank respects in a challenger. However, Tank's confidence in his ability to dominate remains unshaken, as he plans to prove once again why he is one of the sport's biggest stars. Davis's critics, however, see things differently. Bradley argues that Roach's resume does not reflect the level of competition necessary to prepare him for a fighter of Tank's caliber. Roach's most notable opponents include names like Hector Garcia, Rene Alvarado, and Neil John Tabanao, fighters who, while respectable, are not seen as elite. Bradley notes that Roach's last 6 opponents in particular have done little to elevate his status or test his limits. He suggests that this fight will likely end in another dominant victory for Tank, with Roach unable to withstand the relentless pressure and power shots that have become Tank's signature. Teofimo Lopez, the current WBO super lightweight champion, has also criticized the fight, calling it another example of Davis avoiding meaningful challenges. Lopez, known for his brash personality and confidence, has accused Davis of cherry-picking opponents from lower weight classes to pad his record and maintain his status as a knockout artist. Lopez believes that for Davis to solidify his place among the greats, he needs to face elite fighters who can genuinely test him, rather than opponents like Roach, who many see as overmatched. Despite the criticism, Tank's star power continues to draw fans, and his pay-per-view numbers reflect his appeal. Davis's 2023 fight against Ryan Garcia, for example, was a massive success, generating over 1.2 million pay-per-view buys and earning Tank a career-high payday. This success has emboldened his team to promote fights like the upcoming bout with Roach, banking on Tank's popularity to sell tickets regardless of the opponent. Lamont Roach, meanwhile, views this fight as the opportunity of a lifetime. A victory over Tank Davis would catapult him into boxing stardom and silence the doubters who question his ability to compete at the highest level. Roach, who won the WBA super featherweight title by defeating Hector Garcia, has been steadily building his career, but he acknowledges that this fight represents a significant step up in competition. With a strong amateur background and a solid professional record, Roach is confident he can rise to the occasion and shock the world. However, even Roach's supporters recognize the uphill battle he faces. Tank's combination of power, speed, and ring IQ has overwhelmed many of his past opponents, including fighters with more experience and physical advantages than Roach. To have any chance of success, Roach will need to use his technical skills and avoid engaging in the kind of exchanges that have allowed Tank to deliver devastating knockouts. Some observers believe the fight could play out similarly to many of Tank's previous bouts, with Davis downloading data in the early rounds before finding his rhythm and delivering a knockout in the later rounds. Tank's ability to adjust mid-fight and capitalize on his opponent's mistakes has been a key factor in his success, and it's likely to play a role against Roach. While Tank's dominance is unquestionable, his future in boxing remains a topic of discussion. Davis has announced that he plans to retire after 2025, with only 3 more fights remaining in his career. This revelation has raised questions about his long-term goals and whether he will take on the kind of legacy-defining fights fans have been clamoring for. Some speculate that his final opponents could include high-profile rivals like Shocker Stevenson or Devin Haney, while others believe a rematch with Ryan Garcia could be in the cards, given the financial success of their first fight. For now, however, Davis is focused on Roach, and he has been training diligently to ensure he remains at the top of his game. Despite the skepticism surrounding the matchup, Tank insists that he is not overlooking Roach and is preparing for a tough fight. He acknowledges Roach's skills and believes the challenger has the potential to surprise those who doubt him. As the fight approaches, the tension between the two fighters continues to build. Both men are determined to prove their critics wrong, and the stakes are high for both. For Tank, a dominant victory would reaffirm his status as one of boxing's most feared fighters and silence some of the criticism about his choice of opponents. For Roach, an upset win would be a career-defining moment and a chance to prove he belongs among the sport's elite. Ultimately, the fight will come down to who can execute their game plan and handle the pressure of the moment. Tank's power and experience make him the clear favorite, but Roach's hunger and determination could make him a dangerous underdog. Whether the fight lives up to the hype remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: both fighters have a lot to prove, and neither is taking this opportunity lightly. In the end, the matchup between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach serves as a microcosm of the larger debate in boxing about matchmaking, legacy, and the balance between business and competition. While some fans and experts may dismiss the fight as a mismatch, others see it as an intriguing battle between two fighters with something to prove. As the boxing world waits for the new date to be announced, the anticipation and controversy surrounding this bout continue to grow.